Bob, I've never built a custom home before, so I'm going to be nervous about all the problems and issues that I've heard other people tell their horror stories about. How do you deal with the stress of all these problems and challenges?
Uh, it's a really good question, Steve. One of the things I think that has happened to me and to the rest of the guys, the rest of the folks that work for HomeWrights is when you're when you've when you've been in a difficult situation and you've resolved that situation. You've been able to figure it out, solve the problems, get everything fixed and back on track. And when you've done that over and over and over again, you kind of reach a point where almost nothing seems insurmountable. You reach a point where what may seem like a crisis to one person is sort of routine to the next. And sometimes within our office, the joke is there's no crying in construction. We just don't get emotional about these things. We don't react to these things in a big emotional way. It's just like, oh, okay, gee, it looks like we have a leak in the Titanic. What should we do? It's not immediately abandon ship. It's how do we deal with this leak? And we've all become extremely good at it. And it's one of the things I think that we're able to impart pretty quickly on our clients.
Plus, I've got you a phone call or a text away anytime.
Exactly, a phone call or a text or an email away, and in some cases, 5 minutes away. In some cases, it may be the situation that we're in the neighborhood, or if we're not in the neighborhood right away, we can certainly get there in 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. And so it's just a case of, here are the facts. This is the situation. How do we deal with it? It's not the first time it's been dealt with in the construction realm. And so how do we deal with it? A simple example that comes to mind is when trusses are being designed for the house, the truss design is based on what the architect or the structural engineer originally creates. Sometimes there are some issues that we discover in the field that require that the trusses be modified ever so slightly. And for us, that's kind of a routine issue. For our client, that may not be routine. That may be something that can really cause them a fair amount of anxiety. And so the client may call and say, oh my gosh, my framer says that these 3 trusses at the front entry need to be modified, and they're not going to fit the way they've been built. And that may seem like a major obstacle or a major issue to overcome, when in fact it's simply a case of getting the modified dimensions, calling those dimensions over to the truss company, and asking them to modify 2 or 3 trusses and get them shipped out to the job site as soon as possible.
I don't know if I should say this on camera, Bob, but sometimes I get the feeling that you guys kind of enjoy a challenge.
Why, of course, Steve. There's, you wouldn't be in this game if you didn't like problem solving. You couldn't possibly be a part of the construction home industry if you didn't enjoy problem solving to some extent, and sort of have it in your blood or in your nature to attack these kinds of things and just figure out a resolution.
So if I'm the owner builder, I guess it feels better to know that I've got somebody who enjoys problem solving on the team.
Yeah, you've got a group of experts in triage. I think the thing that we do sort of naturally that helps to put them at ease is our demeanor in these situations is such that we know, we're pretty darn sure that there's no situation that we can't resolve. And so I think our clients can immediately interpret that through our behaviors, through the way we speak to them, to the way we speak to the plumber, to the truss guy, to the lumber yard, to the framer. They sense it. Our clients can tell that this is not our first rodeo, and this problem might be a little bit tricky, but we're going to figure it out. It just is sort of second nature to us, and I think our clients pick up on that, and they say, okay, this doesn't feel really good right now, but I know that I've got somebody who can help me figure this out.
Your confidence becomes your client's confidence.
To some degree. It's a good way of saying it.